and welcome to the Wheels and Whirls Skate Dance Show. I'm so glad you have decided to come and join me for another lesson. You just caught me practicing dribbles. Previous lessons, I kept calling them drills. Drilling is what we're doing every time we turn this program on, lace up our skates, and get up and try something new. Now, the dribble that I was trying to do is going to be a very important step for skate dancing, and I'm finding it a little bit tricky to learn. So I'm going to try and break it down into easier steps today so that we can get good at that, because I think getting good at dribbling is going to open us up to some of those other skate dance moves that we talked about, like the crazy crab walk. I showed you at the end of last lesson, that once we finished with our crab walk, we're gonna start adding like a flick to stylize it a little bit more. And when we were doing our, grapevines, we're gonna need a little more ability to go up on our toe manuals or our heel manuals so that we can roll a lot smoother. So I really need to work on getting my dribbling down so that all of that stuff becomes a lot easier. So I think the first thing we should talk about is shuffling. So shuffling is moving from one leg in front to the opposite leg in front. Shuffling your feet. Not like shuffling cards, but when we were doing this move, way back in lesson 1, and we were just calling it like our slide step. That's kind of like the very baby basics of a shuffle, right? One foot is coming back while one foot is moving forward, okay? So that's a very basic shuffle. And we're keeping our legs in a slightly pointed V so that we have control over our momentum and we're not just rolling back and over and all over the place. So that is something that you really want to get down very well, is the shuffle and the weight transfer. So when we're shuffling, we're not just doing this, okay? I'm not transferring my weight, and now I'm rolling away. Bye-bye, see you later. No, okay, so what we're doing is we're dropping the weight back on one hip while we are pushing forward with the other. So it's a push and pull. I'm gonna pull the one that was just back forward while I'm bringing the other one back, and now I'm transferring my weight onto that new back one. And again, you need to try and keep your legs in a slight V. If they're too close, you're gonna crash. You're gonna get your feet all twisted up together. Obviously, we don't want that, but we wanna keep a slight V just so we can control our momentum and where we're moving around in our dance space, skate space. Okay, so shuffle. I'm gonna bring one foot forward, I'm dropping one back, my weight is on the back foot, and then I'm going to pull it forward. As I'm pulling this one forward, hold on, that move, when I just did this, made me think I was like He-Man or somebody really cool with like power. Oh, who was his name Skeletor? Okay, back to our skate lesson. We're gonna pull this one forward, drop the other one back. So what is happening is both feet should be moving simultaneously. One back, one forward. You don't want to do this. This is not what we're going for. We're going for a constant motion of back and forward. And I find what's really important with this slide step or your beginning dribble, which we're gonna build on to here in a minute, these shuffles, is getting your feet to mirror each other. So meeting in the middle of a movement. So the rate at which I'm pulling back and pushing forward is about the same, because that's gonna become really, really important when we start adding in the toe manual aspect. And what does that mean? What is a toe manual aspect, you might be asking yourself? Well, in dribbling, it's not just this shuffle, it's a shuffle plus popping up your back heels, your back wheels, and going on your toe manual in the front, okay? I still have my toe stops on because I'm not super confident yet of how far I can go on those toe manuals before I'm eating the floor. So I'm going to be using my toe stops. If you're super confident, you have great balance, or you've been doing this for a while, and you want to remove your toe stops, feel free to do so. Otherwise, if you want to do it the way I do, I'm going to be using those as guides and references, my training wheels, until I feel very confident in my ability to know how far I can dip down on my toes without falling. So a dribble is building on the shuffle. So instead of just pulling back, pushing forward, pulling back, pushing forward, as you get back, you're going to be popping your toes up on the toe manual. And as you bring that foot back forward and the other one's coming back, you're going to keep them on those two front wheels until you hit the front. You're going to drop it down. I'm going to be building on that skill with you, and hopefully we can master it together. So I think what we need to really do is to break it down and make it simple to learn, right? I love breaking things into bite-sized pieces and that I can chomp on, work on, and get better. What we're building on is our dribbling. Step 1, practice shuffling. Practice moving back and forward, and remember to move them simultaneously, keeping your knees soft, transferring your weight from back foot to back foot, okay? And moving those feet together as evenly matched together as you can. That's going to become important when we add in the toe manual. Once you are confident and comfortable with just shuffling your feet like I'm doing here, you'll be ready for adding in the next level of difficulty. Okay, so next level of difficulty will be doing those toe manuals. So let's practice just getting on our toes before we add in a shuffle. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift up your heels, pick a foot. I'm right-handed, I'm gonna go with my right foot. I'm gonna lift my heels in the back and just put my weight on my two front wheels on my toes, not all the way down so that my toe stop is the one on the floor, but just applying that weight on those wheels with my foot elevated a little bit, and then boom. Do it on the other side. Boom. 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 I'm going to do this on the side too. Hopefully you can see, or if I use the back of my feet so you can see. We're just practicing lifting, planting, lifting and planting so that we get comfortable on those toes and applying the weight. So I'm finding that I'm putting a bit of weight on the front inside wheel when I'm going up like that. So you can try that as well. If you need to rest on your toe stops for now until you get comfortable and confident, that's fine. But again, just lift, plant, lift, plant. And what you want to do is, instead of just lifting, okay, and putting your weight on your other leg, which is going to be really tempting to do because this one's stable, you're on all four wheels, and then you can just do this. That's not what we want to do. We want to put the weight on those two front wheels. So you're lifting, but pressing. I'm going to even like lean a little bit so I know, like, okay, Jenny, you are on this side, okay? So put the weight on those wheels. Feel a little uncomfortable, it's okay. Plant, transfer the weight, lift, plant, transfer the weight, lift, plant. Try to get into a rhythm until this becomes kind of a natural feeling and a natural movement for you. This could take a lot of time, and that's okay if it does, because you don't want to move too fast. If you're not ready, you move too fast, you might make a mistake and you might get discouraged. Mistakes are okay. I would rather you not get discouraged though. I don't know. Sunshine, go away today. I'm feeling discouraged today. Okay, so take your time. Again, make sure you're transferring the weight onto those two front and practicing planting, lifting, planting, okay? Because what we'll be doing next is adding in the shuffle. So what's gonna happen is you're going to be bringing a foot back, putting the weight on those toes, okay? As you're bringing it forward, now I'm lifting my other toe, bringing it forward, and then popping up on the other toe. I'm gonna try and do this from the side, and I'm doing this really slow, both for my benefit and for yours, because I'm not there yet, and that's okay. But here's what it's going to look like, hopefully. I'm gonna even start on my 2 rear right wheels. I've got my weight on that leg, my right leg on my hip. I'm up on my toe manuals. I'm gonna drag it forward, and when I hit the front, I'm gonna plant it, and at the same time, when this foot plants, this one should lift up in the back onto those toe manuals. And I'm gonna just keep swapping, okay? This might be a little awkward at first. I'm certainly finding it awkward, not smooth. That's okay. That's something that drilling, I'm gonna use it right this time. Drilling is gonna help you improve on dribbling, and then you're gonna master this eventually, your own speed, your own time. I'm gonna break it down again. Let's do it together. Okay, start. I'm gonna put 1 foot back. I'm gonna use my right leg. Once again, I'm right-handed. I'm sorry if you're not, but hey, if you're left-handed and you're watching me, then like we have the mirror thing going and it's helpful, so that's cool. All right, so keeping my right foot, the weight is on those 2 wheels. Yes, I'm even leaning on my toe stop right now for this demonstration to make it easier for me. My knees are soft. I've got some weight on my left foot heel area because I don't want to be moving all over the place, but most of my weight is going to be on these 2 right wheels. I'm going to lift, roll them forward. As they're coming forward, left is coming back, plant, and pop up on my left toes. That's not smooth, I'm moving all over the place, that's okay. Practice, right? Okay, left foot back on my 2 wheels, bring them forward while this one's coming back, plant. Okay, woo. Again, rolling forward, bringing back, planting. All right, here we go again. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Planting. Okay, I'm making this look really amazing, I know, but I told you, this is new for me. I wasn't lying. Lesson 1, this is all brand new. It's gonna take me a lot of getting used to because I've never done it. Okay, but also I don't think I'm the most amazing dancer even when I have like sneakers on, so why on earth I thought like, hey, I'm gonna learn how to roller skate dance and it's gonna look good. I don't know, I can't tell you, but I'm going to get this and you can too. So let's just take our time and practice the skill. And I think this is one of those ones we're gonna have to practice in between all of our other lessons because again, it's like vital, like oxygen is vital to us, or water. For all the other skate dance steps we're gonna do is getting comfortable on our toe manuals and making it look really cool instead of really clunky. So again, one more time, close up. I'll try and do it from this direction this time. I'll try and use my left foot. I'm in the back. I'm going to roll. As this one is rolling forward on my toes, my opposite leg should be rolling back, so it's like a push-pull, and then the opposite leg is gonna pop up when it gets back. And again, what's super important for this is keeping your knees softly bent so that you don't feel super wobbly and you can control your power. And the weight part is really important because you're pushing and pulling and transferring your weight. So again, if I'm on my back, left foot, I'm gonna try not to use my toe stops, I promise. All right, the other thing is I'm finding I'm like really rolling all over the place. So I'm gonna try and turn the foot in front in a slight V. So I'm just gonna take my heels and pop them at an angle just a little bit to control the fact that I'm rolling a little bit better. Not too extreme, just enough, okay? So I'm up on those back toes. I am going to pull, and then when I get back here, and that one's forward, I'm gonna pop up on my toes. I feel like the other thing that I'm not quite doing right in addition to that is I'm going too far with my legs. I don't think you have to go that far with your legs to master this step, and I think it's probably better if you don't. So I'm gonna try and do it a little bit less distance and see how that goes. Okay. And the other thing I'm finding I need to get used to, it's sort of like Michael Jackson moonwalking, like is keeping these toes off the ground, heels off the ground until you get in front, and just getting used to that. Let's move on to another skill to practice. Remember us practicing the grapevines recently? We're going to be using crossovers, like these steps that we do in these grapevines, quite a bit. So it's important to get comfortable with that move as well. And what's really important is keeping those knees soft and bent so that you can cross over and not get tangled up, okay? So this is just a move you should practice, so that you can get really good at crossovers and lifting your feet. In the last lesson, I talked about using a crab walk, crazy crab, and adding a flick at the end. Well, that's where your toe manuals come into play. So we need to keep practicing our dribbles, and then we'll get better at using our toe manuals and going up on our toes when we add the flick. But basically what we're gonna be aiming for is crabbing out. Crabbing out, that's something new. Okay, I'm gonna start with my toes together. I'm gonna out, in, and then from here, I'm gonna bring my outside leg back and up on my toe in a kind of like a half crescent shape to bring it back and add this little flick. So it's just flick, and then it's gonna come back together, and then I'm gonna crab it out again. When I get back in, I'm gonna do the opposite on the other side. So the outer leg is gonna come back, go up on my toe manual, come back in. Out, in, bring it back, pop it up, bring it in. Okay, so we're gonna practice that and adding that movement, speeding it up a little bit, and then that should look kind of cool if we can get it. So bear with me as I try and do this. My tip to you while doing this is to keep your legs pretty spread far apart so that you've got the room to really either move your toes or your heels in and out together. Otherwise you kind of run out of space, I'm finding. And just take your time with this too. This is not smooth for me. It's gonna take me a lot of practice as well, but it's great because we're gonna practice those toe manuals again. And that's gonna do it for today's lessons on Wheels and Whirls, the skate dance show. I hope that you are doing your drills and you're practicing all the skills that we've talked about so far, and just keep practicing, because practicing is hopefully gonna make everything come together for us over time. Unless you're like a savant and you just get this a lot sooner than me, good for you. If you do, I'm proud. And I hope that I will get as good as you. Anyways, I will see you next time. Bye.
Rolling wild through the midnight hour, dancing cat with electric power. Can't hold this spirit down, skating king, this restless town.
Next time on the Wheels and Whirls Skate Dance Show, we are going to be practicing the crescent step. One foot is in front. I've got my front leg, my back leg, I've got the weight. I'm on my toe manuals. I'm gonna bring them out at an angle, in at an angle, and they're gonna take the place in front. Do this on the next lesson because we're gonna be using that shuffle technique where this other leg is traveling back while the other one's traveling forward, and it's just gonna take some practice. So we'll be drilling that. All right, see you later.